Oh, what's going on, everybody? It's your boy C-Zar, and we are talking about Kaspa today. Yes, we are. We're talking about it for Saints Scholars. We're talking about it for you, my friend. You did the request. I've probably had a few people request Kaspa over the weeks, but I just haven't been able to get around to it. Saints, you were the most recent one to request it, so we're talking about it for you. I really have meant to talk about it, but here we are, talking about it now. It's been a long time since we talked about it. I've got it pulled up on this. I'm going to pause the music, by the way. Got us pulled up on this ribbon here on the weekly time frame, and the ribbon is a very beautiful ribbon, man. You love to see this separation, consistent growth like this. It's almost like it's in a channel up. Beautiful, love to see it. However, you're doing things a little bit differently than you have before, right? And I'll explain. So here, first interaction with the ribbon, it went down and boom, went out, phenomenal. In fact, it's essentially what every single reaction afterwards was like. You went into the ribbon, barely, just like on the ribbon, whatever, and boom, phenomenal reaction. Here, into the ribbon, a little deeper, of course, but then boom, phenomenal reaction, right? Here, you went into it, moved sideways, but then boom, phenomenal reaction. Where here, you moved into it, you moved sideways, and you moved lower into it. You have now been lingering around and in the ribbon longer than you ever have before. You might be going lower than the lowest line on the ribbon. You might be. And if we take that into consideration, that would imply that you could see a low to high extension drop down to about, you're at 11.5 cents now. Kaspa, you guys, could be seeing a significant drop all the way down to about 6 cents, really like 5.9 cents, if not potentially 4.3 cents, around there. And that might sound crazy. That might be like sandpaper to your ears, but that's just my genuine opinion. I'm going to go over more reasons as to why I think that. But if you look at the daily ribbon here too, I'm going to pull up the normal chart in a second, but while we have the ribbon on, if you look at the daily, you had a bearish cross. You even came up and you pinched it and then moved down, had some further separation, rejected it again, and you're moving down. This is not a good look, in my opinion. It really isn't a good look. I definitely do think you're going to go lower. Yesterday you had a little bit of a move up, didn't you? So what? You rejected a key area that's not an area that you want to reject. You look like you're storming your way down. And truthfully, for what it's worth on the weekly, you look like you're consolidating up here. And with that, you could break to the downside or the upside. And if this consolidation breaks, I mean, is it a diamond pattern? I don't know. Maybe it is. But if it breaks, I wonder. It'd break like there. I mean, that would take you down to about 4.5 cents, which is a target area. But you don't have to hit your measure move, and that might not even be the right measurement of this area in itself. In fact, I actually want to go on Kraken. No, not Kraken. KuCoin. I'm going to refresh this so that I have my RSI. Kaspa on KuCoin. Yes, KuCoin. Make sure that it stays the same for the price projections, because sometimes that other chart can be weird. 5.8 cents, 4.24 cents. Okay. Around there. Oop. My bad. Around there. Everything's fine. Nothing happened. We're good. Daily RSI looks terrible. It looks very sad. I'm very convinced you want to keep moving down. Lower than this low, at least, right? Lower than this low. And if we take this low and we go to the relative high, we measure this extension, that'd be good at least for move down to 9 cents, potentially even 8 cents, okay? 9 cents to 8 cents is where I would expect you to go at a minimum from here. And it lines up with a few areas that would make sense in there, but really, yeah, 9 cents to 8 cents. Inevitably, I do believe you're going to go below 6 cents and potentially even down to like 4 cents, 4.2 cents, okay? It's going to take weeks, it's going to take months, it's going to be a long time. If we look at Kaspa and we take out that T up there we go to the all-time history. I used to do this all the time whenever I started talking about it, but we're going to do it now because it's been so long. First all-time high to the low. It's a 74% drop, pretty damn near 74% drop. I'm going to take this high here, but I'm not going to take the low. I'm not including this. It's like a scam wick week, so I'm just not taking the wicks off of that week. I don't think he dropped 90%. I think it was a a mistake, a glitch, or whatever. If we look at this, that's 74%. It's pretty damn close to this one, so it makes sense to me to not look at the wick, if that makes sense. Maybe I'm cherry picking, but it's an odd coincidence, isn't it? 74%. Here, you only move down 57%. 74, 74, 57. From this high to this low, you dropped yet again in the 70s, 72%. And it has been a while, hasn't it? You haven't dropped this significantly in the longest stint that Kaspa has had. However, you've also moved sideways for the longest stint that Kaspa has had. If you don't consider this moving sideways, I don't know what else to consider it. Yes, you found a higher high, but absolutely you've been consolidating, right? This is the longest phase of consolidation Kaspa has ever seen, right? This, sure, you were all in the same price area here, sure, but really your consolidation phase was here. This was the beginning of your next move up. It was a 1, 2, 3-legged move up. Debatably, I don't know. Like you moved up, consolidated here, and then moved up again. Consolidated, but really this whole phase is like consolidation. It looks like the chart wants to roll over, right? You've got this kind of like rolling look to it. And generally with stuff like this, you will see it roll over inevitably. You look like you're at the top point of this, but I mean, maybe I'm just cherry picking the way I'm drawing it, whatever. Let's take this idea again, right? 72% of a drop there. 74, 74, 57, 72. From this high to what would be the smallest drop we've seen, which is 57%, that would take you down to about 8 cents. Okay, so I've already identified that as like a minimum target area, 9 to 8 cents, right? That was my minimum expectation, best hope for Kaspa, is that you would drop minimum 9 to 8 cents. And we can already see here 57%, the smallest drop that we had, 57%, would take you to that zone, would take you actually to the bottom of that zone. So 57% of a drop from the all-time high. That's what we could see. If we see a 70% drop, 72% drop, that would take us down to 5.3 cents. Does it sound familiar? It should sound familiar, because if we look, I believe it was this extension from this low to this high. Lines up perfectly with the 1414 area. Right there, right at the 1414. It's not the most common extension to hit, but it is in the common area of extensions to hit. If we put it right there, put that horizontal line right there at about a 72% drop, it comes in line very well with this flat top that you had right here from about August of last year until the end of October of last year, right? That little shelf check back there. Have a standard retracement that you've seen time and time again throughout this thing's history that you haven't seen for the longest time in this thing's history. Coming out of this consolidation phase, move down there. It makes sense to me, man. It makes sense to me. Do you have to stop there? No, you don't. You could go lower. There are other price targets that are lower. You know, if you went down to your 1618, that would be a total of a 77% drop. That would be the largest drop you've seen, but it could happen. You know, it absolutely could happen. But nonetheless, guys, I think Kaspa over the weeks, over the months to go, it will be dropping lower. It's probably going to happen fast, right? If we look at this for what it's worth, and I would treat this drop differently than every other drop potentially, other than like percentage kind of averaging. That's not what I wanted to look at. I wanted to look at, let's see, the time frame. So that was 6 weeks, right? That took 6 weeks from its relative high to low. Why do I keep doing that, man? That one took 5 weeks from the relative high to its low. This one took 8 weeks, so we got 6 weeks, 5 weeks, 8 weeks, right? From this relative high to the low that we just had, that was 7 weeks. You know, we've gone on longer. I don't know if that's actually worth drawing because we're consolidating here, right? But this was like the beginning of the move. It was kind of like a blow off top scenario. We're consolidating in this area. Maybe that's not a good metric to look at. I don't know. What I was trying to get to is that to say that it could be like 7 to 8 weeks of consolidation, or that we see our low. I don't know. I kind of lost it there. That's not, I don't know. As far as when the low comes in, is all I'm trying to say, guys. So as far as when the low comes in is to be determined. I would think that it happens sooner than later, and I would think that whenever you break this consolidation phase, which who knows, let's see if we can get it drawn properly. I don't know, something like that maybe. Maybe it's just this. I don't know. It's probably going to break soon. It'll probably break within the next few weeks, if not this week or next week. But when it does break, that's probably when you'll see your move happen fast. You'll probably find your low within a month after that if it's going to happen. So probably sometime at the end of May to sometime in June, the beginning of June to the end of May, is when I would expect Kaspa to find these lows at probably around 5.3 cents, around these previous high points here. If not, they're at a minimum 8 cents, but either way, it's going to take 3 weeks to 5 weeks, something like that probably. Is my thoughts. It's going to be happening right before our eyes in the very, very near term. So that's really all I have to say, man. I don't got anything else I want to say. So if you guys like the video, hit that like button. Subscribe if you want to see more. Sorry for that bit of confusion, bit of rambling and mumbling at the end there, but I was trying to figure it out in my head. Trying to do time analysis. It's not my strong suit, but we can try. So that's all I got. Take care. See you on the next one. Bye-bye.